It's your girl Corey Love of Carefree Conversations. Tonight we're going to have a Carefree Conversation with Takieyah Reaves. This is a very special edition of Carefree Conversations. Takieyah is not an entrepreneur, however, she is a young lady that have dealt with gun violence and it has affected her physically. So when I heard her story, I felt like I needed to share and I wanted her to come on and share. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all already know, drop your name, your location. Make sure that you go ahead and share this out with your audience. I really want her story to be heard, and I want you to get a little bit of this information as well to know how she went through her process, how she dealt with it, how she's dealing with it now, and what she has forthcoming. So make sure, again, as always, share this out with your audience. Again, it's Takieyah Reaves tonight. She is a gun violence survivor. So I will have her, pull her in right at 8:05, 8:06. You guys know how we do it. Hey, Immaculate, thanks for tuning in. Hey, EJ in Valdosta, thanks for tuning in. So I have products tonight. So I don't know if you guys saw my post, but I have been chosen to be a brand ambassador for Simply Under Simone with the number 1. And I am wearing one of the earrings tonight. I'm wearing the Rockstar earrings, as you can see. And if you are interested in getting any of these earrings, you can use my code LUV10. Just click on simplysimone.com. Once you use that code, they'll know that you are a friend of mine. So make sure you do that tonight. Even if it's not for you, you can get it for another young lady. All right, so go ahead and use my code and grab you a pair of Rockstar earrings. Hey, Vanilla Trini, thanks for tuning in. Drop your name so we can know your name, not your Instagram name. Hey, Trudy, thanks for tuning in. Drop your name and location. And the reason why I have you guys drop your name and location, because I may know who you are, but my audience may not know who you are. So I like to make connections and allow people to network. So that'll be great if you do, because you never know who you'll meet on here tonight or any other night. So I'm going to go ahead and share this out with her. I haven't seen her jump on yet. And as always, thank y'all so much for tuning in. And like I said, at the end of the month, whoa, that's this week, huh? Monday or Tuesday, I'll come on probably before the show and share all the awesome things that I have been getting recently. My mail lady's like, "You're so blessed, girl." So I'm like, yes, I really am. I must say that I am truly blessed. So thank each and every one of you that always send me items and products to not only share on my show, but just as a blessing to me. I really appreciate that. Hey Pamela in Miami. And hey, Drinks by Explosive. Again, make sure you guys share this out with your audience. I'm just waiting on this young lady to join in with us. You already know the housekeeping rules. When you come in, drop your name, your location, share this out with your audience. And if you have any questions during the live, drop them in the comment box so that we can make sure that we don't miss your question and be able to respond to it in a timely manner. All right, remember that Instagram does kick us out after 1 hour. And so we try to break down the interview to about 20 to 30 minutes and then leave it open for questions, comments, or concerns that you may have, or something you may want to share. All right, there she is. I'm going to go ahead and bring Takieyah in and have her introduce herself. Hey, Renita, aka Auntie. Isha from Alabama. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You over there glowing, girl.
Everybody keeps saying I'm hot.
Yeah. That's a hot glow.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and tell the people who you are, where you're located.
My name is Takieyah Reaves, and I'm in the north. I'm in New Jersey.
She in Jersey.
North side.
You said north side?
Right.
That's the best side.
Right. I don't know. I'm trying to move to the south, so I don't know. I'll tell you when I get there.
Okay. All right. So tonight it's a special edition. You're very special. And we have you on because I saw your story and you and I spoke and it really touched me, and I wanted to share your story with my audience. Yes. I know Black Lives Matter is like a big It's always been big. I don't want to say it's
Right,
big now.
right.
It's always been a big thing, but because of the recent incidents, it has even gotten more known, I should
Huge,
say.
exactly.
Right. And so what happened to you is kind of it's gun violence, and it's something that happened. And so we're fighting for things like that to
Very
you
much
know to
so.
find the people and make sure that you get the care and services that you need. So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna ask you first. So I met you by reading your article. I reached
Yes.
out to you, and one thing I was so shy. Like I really didn't expect you to say yes. I did not.
I'm really, really shy. So it's like, I don't know. But when, someone wants to talk to me, I don't know. I don't know. God give me some courage or something, but I am really, really shy. Really shy. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're fine. You are fine. I'm very personable, so it'll be easy. So I know that you went out one night and you were hanging out with your friend. How did the
Yes.
night even start? I know
Um,
were you celebrating a party, a birthday?
You know what? I was actually at home, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, my mom came down from PA because I have two kids, and they usually go with her every summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was home, and I was gonna chill with my mom because she was there just for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going out. I called my best friend, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, we're going to a memorial for someone, they lost to gun violence. I didn't personally know the person,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna meet up with you. I'm gonna come with you because I just wanted to be out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, all right, I'm gonna wait for you. And I went to her house. And when I got there, we left and we went to the memorial. The night seemed like so weird. It was like I had kind of had signs, and it was like, yeah, I was seeing stuff I didn't usually see. Like I had one biological sister. I never see her outside. We on two different levels. We hang out with two different crowds. And I seen her. I told her I love her. Before I left the house, I told my mom I loved her. And it was like we love each other. We do. But to say
Yeah.
it, we're shy. So it's like we don't
Yeah.
just like, oh, I love you, I love you. Now we do it all the time. Like now we
Right.
do it all the time. But yeah, I closed the door. My mom like, you always going out. I was like, I never go out. I'm literally a homebody. And I was like, I love you. I'll be back. And I closed the door. I seen my sister that night. And me and my friends, we actually went a totally different way. We was hanging out in our little area and we was talking and having fun. And I had a friend who came down from Pennsylvania and I wanted to see her. And I wasn't gonna go, but she was calling me and I kept telling her, yeah, I'm gonna go. You know how you just tell people you're gonna go
Yeah. Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah.
but
I do it all the
yeah.
time.
And I was like, it is pouring down out there.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I kept telling her, like, I'm gonna come, and then I finally went. And it was around I think 12 o'clock maybe. I was only there for 20 minutes. So it was like I don't it everything just happened so fast, like extremely,
Wow.
extremely fast. Yeah, I got to the club and I didn't even have enough money on me to go.
Right.
Like we didn't stop at no banks, no nothing. So I'm like, I don't have no cash. And my friend was like, oh, whatever cash you got, I'll just pay the rest of it. That was like the third
Oh my
sign.
God. You are getting
Right.
a lot of
Yes. A
signs,
lot
girl.
of signs. And when I got there, I walked inside the club, we paid, and we went straight back to the VIP area. And the friend I was supposed to meet there, I was walking back to the front to let her know I was there and I was gonna be in the back. And when I got to my friend, the boy who shot me, they were actually pulling him out the club. Um, because he was just like really, really, I guess he was, I don't want to say he's under the influence because I really can't tell you that. But if you go look at his charges and stuff like that, they actually sent him to rehab before they sent him to prison. So it was like he had to be under some type of influence, but he was like disturbing all the peace. And while they were kicking him out, I'm like, why are they doing that to him? Me and my gentle heart. I'm like, yes, why are they all,
Oh my
pulling on him
God.
hard? And my friend was like, mind your business. Like, you don't know what's going on. And I found
Right.
out that, he was like pushing people and putting his hands on the security guards and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
when they pull him out, it wasn't him shooting, but I heard gunshots. But that night, if you look up the date, July 9, 2017, it was actually 3 different shootings. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to lie and give out false information, but I believe me and 2 other girls got shot that night and the other 2 didn't make it. They weren't too far from where I was, but we heard gunshots, and we, like I said, we was there for 20 minutes. And I looked at my best friend. I'm like, "Oh, it's time to go." And I don't care if they weren't at the club. I heard them, but they was close enough for me to
Oh,
hear.
I was just
So
about to ask you that.
yeah,
Okay.
they wasn't near the club. They were just close enough for me to hear. And I
Right.
was like, "Oh, I'm ready to go." And she was like, "All right, let's go." And we were walking out the door, and she was like, "I'm hungry," and she asked, she
You
asked the
just kept
security.
getting stopped and stopped. Oh my
Right.
God.
She asked the guard, like, is it over? Like, I plan on, he was like, "No, it's not over." She was like, "I plan on leaving, but I wanted some chicken from the kitchen." And when she left, she's really clingy to me. Like, she always grabs my hand or makes sure I'm right there. And she's like, "Come on, Takieyah." And I'm like, "I'm coming." I was like, "I'm coming." And she was like, "All right." And she couldn't have walked away within 5 minutes before shooting went off, and everybody's barging in the door, and I'm standing right there in the doorway. And I don't remember too much. I don't know if I got shot in the leg first, in the stomach first, but I know I dropped at the door. A lot of us fell at the door. About three
Mm-hmm.
people got shot that night. The security guard got shot in his foot.
Mm-hmm.
Another young lady got grazed on her thigh or her butt. I think she refused medical assistance though. And yeah, but if you read the papers, it will say three people got shot. No
Yeah.
one was in critical condition, but yet I'm in, the ICU fighting for my life. So it was like,
Right.
what? But I didn't see
Yeah.
a lot of stuff till way after the fact. But once they were shooting, I thought I was running into the club. So my mom was like, I couldn't. My story was just like made up in my head. I had to have other people tell me what was going on.
You
It's
have to.
actually a tape out there I never seen. They won't release it to me. They said the case isn't over, something like that.
Oh.
But yeah, but he's in jail. So I'm like, what? I don't get it. But I haven't talked to them in a while. And somebody actually had me on the floor bleeding out. And I have no clue where that video is. Somebody showed one of my friends, and it was like, "I don't want to see that. You don't want to
Right.
see your friend on the ground." But
Yeah.
I thought I was running back. I heard my best friend screaming my name, and I ran back in the club. Well, I thought, and she was like, "No, you were walking really, really slow." And that's how I knew you were hit, and then you just dropped. And I was like, what? And I heard her though. She ran up to me, and she picked me up. It's sensitive now. The story is real sensitive, so I kind of cry now. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
not to. But she was just like talking to me, like, listen to my voice. Don't fade out. Just listen to me, kid. You're gonna be all right. I believe she called the ambulance. If she didn't, I probably would have been dead.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, when they got there, I actually told her for a minute. I said, "Just let me rest for a minute," because I was laying on my back, and I
So wait,
turned
not to cut you
around.
off, but you were coherent at that time when that was happening. Like
Yeah,
everything
I
around
don't
you.
know, I don't know what was going on around me. I don't. I have no clue. I just heard her voice, just her voice. I didn't hear nobody screaming, and a lot of
Okay.
people were screaming. I didn't hear nobody talking. I didn't hear, I just heard just my best friend. And that's what she was
Mm,
saying. She was like, "Just listen to my voice. Like,
right.
don't keep your eyes open." I was trying, but I started to get real faint, like I couldn't breathe. That's how I felt. And it was like a whoa situation. So get into a situation when you can't breathe, you feel like you gotta move, and you start breathing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
just give me a minute. And I turned around, and you know how you just lay on your bed on your stomach with your leg up,
Yeah.
and I was out. I don't know if I was out for seconds, minutes, an
Oh
hour.
God.
I don't know, but the EMS
Whew.
came after that, and they were like, they put a flashlight on my face, and they're like, Takieyah Reaves, what's your name? And I said, "You just said it."
Yeah. Okay. They were just
So
trying to see if you knew. I guess I don't know. That's weird.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, "You just said it." Like, and they were
Yeah.
flipping me. And my best friend is like, "She is shot somewhere else." But they thought I was only hitting my leg. And they
Man.
like, "She shot somewhere else besides her leg." Stop flipping her. And I don't remember anything after that. Nothing. My best friend said I got in the ambulance, and she said I didn't cry not one time. She just kept saying, I just kept saying, it hurt. And she don't like, social media wasn't big to her.
Right.
um it was so she couldn't get in touch with my mom. Nobody had the code to my phone, and I went straight into X-ray, and because you got to go into X-ray so they could find out what a
Find
bullet
a
is.
bullet.
And I went straight into X-ray, and they lost me on the table, and they had to go back out and tell her we lost her for a minute, but she came back. And it was like, wow, I couldn't imagine what she went through dealing with
Woo!
that. Yeah, it was just, she's by herself and she can't reach out
Yeah.
to my mom. And I know she's like, she's a mother. I have nobody. I'm here alone. But
Yeah.
they said I was strong enough to mumble my mother's number while I was on the operating
Girl,
team,
that ain't
which
nothing
is
but
amazing
God.
to me. Like, yes, it's amazing to me. And for about a good year, I went thinking, like how, like, it wasn't a big deal to me. I guess, I mean, it was like, I didn't think people would care as much as they did. I didn't, because where I'm from, stuff like this happens all the time. I know people who are in the hospital right now, younger than me, fighting for their lives, in the ICU, because of gun violence, little babies, females and stuff like that. And so it's like, I didn't think, like it would be, such a big thing. But, I had a big hernia on my stomach. And people will always ask me, what was I having? Not, are you pregnant? Because it was big enough to be a baby.
Yeah.
And one day I was just like, it's a girl named Saya. And
Oh
yeah,
no, you
her
just
name's
named it.
Saya. Yeah, I just named it because it was more so the older people who would ask, because they would be like, oh, baby, what you having? I don't want to tell nobody's
Oh,
grandmother. Oh, I got shot in the stomach. Like, what?
yeah.
That was still
Yeah.
their joy, So I started,
Oh wow.
telling people like, yeah, I was naming it. And then I was like, you know what? Let me put my story out there so people who are wondering, they can actually know what's going on with me. Maybe
Right.
that'll stop half the people from asking, am I pregnant?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't know how I whispered my mother, how I mumbled my mother number on the table.
That's
A
that's
year
that
later, I was
angel.
printing out my chart. That's amazing. Yes, somebody said, you had Satan on one side and God on another, and they was tugging from me. Like, no, I'm taking her, and I'm taking her. And I was
Nah, the
like,
way
it
you
could have been,
explaining
but
this to me, I feel like that's nothing but an angel that would. Because for you to only hear your
nothing
friend's
but
voice.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
She said,
it was nothing but God.
yeah. I have chills. Like, oh my God. Like, I read part of it, but listening to you tell it is like, you are blessed. Like,
Thank you. It's like,
you have to, like, I don't even know what to say. I never get
I know
stuff.
that's me half the time. I don't know what to say. When I found out what happened to myself, I was printing out my chart for, I don't know if I was doing it for a doctor's appointment, but I printed out my chart, and my friend actually went to nursing school, and she started crying, and I'm like, why are you crying? And she was like, do you know what you've been through? And I was like, no, like, I'm about to start crying. She was like, Takieyah, she said, you lost 4.5 liters of blood. The average
Yes.
human have 4.7 in their body. I said, what? And so I started looking things up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And she wasn't lying. She was telling the truth. And she was
Yeah.
like, you died 7 times. She said, that's what coded mean. Your heart stopped
Yeah.
7 times. And it wasn't 7 times in one day. I had 7 different procedures done, and I coded all 7 times. And so it was like, wow, like, I had a procedure done on my birthday and I died. Like, so it was like, you can't be serious. And my doctors were telling me, because I would complain about, like, my leg. And she'd be like, girl, you died 7 times.
Yeah, like you gonna live.
Yeah,
You
like,
got
you died
that
seven
alive.
times. Like, what you
So
crying? Don't nothing. You can't feel this. She says anxiety. I said, oh, I don't want no more pain. But yeah, I died 7 times, and it was just like, I still, just talking about it to you is just, it's like, it's
well,
crazy
I
because
always
it was
tell
nothing but
people
God.
that I'm not no. I don't. I try not to have holier than thou or whatever, because we all got our flaws. But one thing I'm
Right.
going to tell you, I don't know how your life changed after that, as far as the things that you do, or what you do,
Ooh, it
where you
changed
go, how you do
drastically.
it. But I'm gonna tell you, I know for a fact that that's nothing that but an angel that was covering you that night. Because every step that you were making, your mom asking you why
Right.
you going out, you seeing your sister that you haven't seen, and you know, you were kept. You
But
have
no,
a purpose.
absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know. And I tell people that all the time. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But God is whipping up something. He putting me on a journey, and I'll know when I get there.
Yeah.
I'll know when it's complete. But they used to be like, "How do you feel about that?" I used to be like, "Lord, I just hope He don't take me when it's over." When
Yeah.
I finish His work, I hope He'll be like, "Oh, she's ready now." But
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely crazy. What got me was the 4.5 liters of blood and the coding
Yeah.
7 times, then the CPR for 5 minutes. And like, I'm like, CPR for 5 minutes? Y'all was working on me for 5 minutes. But the doctor literally told my sister, we're not going to give up on her. Your sister's a strong individual, and
And
we're
you know
not
what's
giving up
really
on her.
good? The doctors that you had did that. Because
They
typically,
are brilliant.
once you
They were
code,
brilliant.
they do it a few times and then that's it.
Right. And they
But
never
for
gave up
them,
on me. It could
listen,
have been a
and how
mumbling
old
of
are
the
you?
number. I'm 33. I was 29 when it happened. I actually spent my birthday in the hospital that year. It happened July 9th, 2017. My birthday is July 24th, 2017. So I was still in the ICU on my birthday. I still had a trachea. I was still on the respirator. I still wasn't, breathing on my own yet.
Yeah,
But
so
they was telling the doctors like they told my mom to say hugabots, like, and my mom told them like, it's not up to you. Like,
right.
yeah, it's really not. And
Girl,
they
your
they was telling
ancestors
her
have
like,
some
like,
prayers out there for you. My God, let me tell you. I don't know
I
who been
mean,
praying for
it
you,
wasn't
but you
enough.
get in my name. Can you get in my name? Because, baby, those prayers saved your life.
Dave, I don't know. That's what I kept saying. And when I came home, I got right on the internet because I was like, you know what? When it happened, we had these people praying for me, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. They don't know me, and the messages I've gotten, the encourage, and they, oh, you encourage me and you inspire me, but that's what they're doing for me, to tell my
Yeah,
story, or to get the word out there, because it's really amazing to me, like it is amazing to everyone else. So it's like
yeah,
I'm shocked by it too. They're like, you're strong, and it's like you don't know what you're capable of until you go through something. And I'm not gonna say I came out this way. I'm not gonna say, I came out optimistic, and I'm not gonna say none of that. I came out like, why me? Like, what did I do so wrong to
yeah.
deserve something like this? And I took thinking, like, and I was depressed for a minute. What, God, like, and because it was like, what did I do? I couldn't figure it out. And it was like I couldn't walk, and I couldn't talk, and I couldn't get a job. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, God, have I not suffered enough? And
Yeah.
I never got Social Security. I never got disability. And they were like, oh, I applied for it. Of course, they give you all that. They gave all that to my mom while, because I was sedated. I couldn't do none of that. And they gave it
Right,
to my mom, and she filled it out. I got denied. And they was like, no, you got to keep appealing. And I was like, get that to somebody who could walk, who can't
right.
walk. Get that to somebody who missing some limbs. Because I could jump. I could shout. I could dance. I could talk. My voice was going for a minute. I had the trachea for about 2 months. And soon as they took it out, I was talking again. And my friend was like, you just talked. I said, I've been talking to y'all. Y'all wasn't hearing me. I was telling I was trying to tell y'all. But it was
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah, so it was the experience. But I definitely sunk into a hole before, I gained my faith back, because I couldn't
You said it's
understand it.
crazy how your mom came the same weekend this happened. Nothing like having someone there to
Oh
be
no,
there for
it's
you.
even crazier. I got shot a little after midnight. I kid you not. I talked to my mom, and when I got home, which was a couple months later, because I was in the hospital for a couple months, my door was broke. And I had doors you open like this. I just moved recently, but they open like this. And I'm like, what happened to my door? And my mom was like, girl, she was like, we was packing up to leave to go to Pennsylvania, and air pushed me like through my door. And I thought she was telling the story. She was like, no. I'm like, what time? She was like, like a little after midnight, right before 1. I'm like, mom, no.
Oh,
She was like, for
Jesus.
real. So I'm like, mom, you're telling the story, and I grew up Muslim. So when my mom say, well, Wallahi, she's telling the truth. She's not about to lie on her God. And so I went to go ask my kids. I said, what happened to my doors? They said, Jetta fell. I was like, what? I'm like, mom, are you serious? I said, that's what time I got shot, right? And she was
Oh
like,
my
what?
God,
Yes, my mother
girl.
air pushed the lady through the door. I said, my mother felt that. She felt that. And it took my mother into a state. And so when I would tell my story, I wouldn't cry, because My mother seen me on life support. She seen me in the ICU. She walked in my room one time when she first seen me. I have a little brother who passed away. And she said when she felt his hand, it was ice cold. And she said the feeling she felt in my hand, she said that's what she felt. She said, and they was already telling her to say her goodbyes. I wasn't gonna make it. She said when she felt my hand, it was ice cold. That's the last time my mom walked in my room until she seen me up. And I was able to point. And they was asking, like, you want to see mommy? And I'm like,
And now how
nope.
long that was that she saw you after?
It was about, she came to the hospital every single day. She sat in the visiting waiting room every single day. You would
She
hear
would
her
come
cane. You would hear her cane because she had a hip replacement. So we both had canes together at one point. But you would hear her cane. She would
twinning.
walk to my room. She would look up and over, and then she would walk back to the waiting room every single day until I left the hospital. She said, don't nobody leave my baby alone in this hospital. She wanted me to
Right.
have a visitor, no minutes in
Yeah.
between. But she was at the hospital every single day. But she came in a room. I'll say it took her about a month, because within a month, I started to get up. For some reason, this the first time I ever seen it. The hospital bed is like a transformer. It goes into a whole chair. And I was like, this is amazing in my head, because I couldn't
Yeah.
talk. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? But I was
So you saying that and playing with the button?
right, just playing with, but I mean, I was so weak, I couldn't move. So they knew at one point I had restraints. I guess I was trying to pull my tubes out. I would hallucinate in the hospital. One time I went to the Bahamas. Oh my goodness.
That medicine. That's that
The,
medicine.
the medicine. But it was like, yeah, no, my mom was there every day. And it's like, I'm a mom, and that's the first thing I think about. That's what I think about all the time. I can still be a mom. Nobody is going to love your kids like you will. Nobody's going to take care of your kids like you will.
Yeah.
And when you have, your kids are a part of you. So when they out, that piece of you
Yeah.
is still a part of you. So no
Yeah.
matter how y'all disconnect, you're going to feel every bit of that. And
Right.
so for my mother to see me helpless on the hospital bed and she could not help me, and she had to see me in that state, that broke my mom. My mom is traumatized. And I done made her videos, like I'm okay. Until this day, she is still like really, really soft with the situation. So,
Yeah.
I try to laugh a
I mean,
lot.
it's
And
still fresh. It's like you said,
yeah,
2017.
yeah, like it
Yeah,
happened,
that's
yeah,
not
3
even
years
5
ago.
years.
She's still so she's still a little, a little edgy about it, but I wouldn't cry because it was a sign of weakness, and she seen me weak already. And so I would tell my story, and I would think about stuff. Like right now I'm trying to think about stuff, because you see me bust out, about to bust out, cry like a couple times, but sometimes it's just gonna come out. I ain't gonna be able to stop it. But I mean, God is so good. It's like, why not? I'm not crying tears,
Right.
because I'm angry or mad. They all tears of joy, because I'm still here. Like, I get to raise my own children, and my mother still have a daughter, and we're still best friends, and I'm still a sister and a niece.
Thank God.
Because yeah, my family went through a whole
I
lot, a
can't
whole
even
lot.
imagine. I
Right, so I
cannot.
didn't want to show no sign of weakness. So I would hurt and not tell nobody unless, it was like to the point where I couldn't take it. So I would try to eat pain and stuff like that. Now, the pain never goes away. You just kind of get immune to it. So I was like, yeah, I hurt every single day. So my life did change drastically, but it got to a point where I found myself screaming in my room, like, God, like, what do you want me to do? Every path I'm trying to take is a dead end. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just quiet down. Maybe I can't, he not talking to me because I'm too loud for him. And I quieted down one day, and I was like, God, what you want me to do? And I'm telling you, he was answering me. And it was like, go back to finish school. And I went back to school, and I was on academic probation when I left school. That's why I left. I didn't go back, and it was like, you got to pay for the last term. And it was like a year or two in between my last term. It was like, you got to pay for it. And I was like, all right, when I get the money, I'll go back to school. And when I went back, they was like, oh, we got a new rule. We'll pay for it. I was like, oh, so this the plan right here. And that's when I went back to school. And I was like, I've been in the school long enough. I was taking 7 classes in one semester to graduate. And I finally graduated in 2019 with my associates. I should be graduating with my bachelor's, and I will be graduating. We're gonna speak that
I'm
into
about to say
existence,
you
okay?
will. Like, ain't
I
no
will
I,
be
okay.
graduating May 2021 from Rutgers School of Criminal Justice in May. And I want to move to the South, get a little country, and
Yay.
yes, okay.
So
And I
she
want to get
says
my
you're here,
PhD.
your beautiful testimony in God's grace. Crying does not make you weak. And that's what I wanted to say too. Like,
Thank you guys.
you have a purpose. You say you're studying criminal justice.
Yes.
And you will get that degree, and we're gonna be shouting for you on that.
Okay, thank
and
you.
we're gonna stay in touch because I know you're connected with Suzanne down here with the nonprofit and stuff like that. But I
Yes,
wanted
that's my
to ask you,
president.
is your mom there now? Like she's back in
No,
Jersey?
my mom, she lives in Pennsylvania. I live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
She already sent my kids back for the summer. They're actually with their dad. I just got back from vacation yesterday. That's why I sound like this. My voice is always raspy, but it's not this hoarse. It's been raspy ever since I came
They
home
say
from the
bottles on
hospital.
deck, girl.
But
You listening to this?
I'm not gonna play with you. No, I did. I had a ball for my friend's birthday. I don't go out. I just had 2 surgeries. I had a hernia. I thought I was getting a tummy tuck like everybody else, but it was too much. Basically, my hernia repair was supposed to be 5 hours long, and it ended up being 10 hours long, and that was something else for my family to panic about because it's like, oh my gosh, what if something went wrong? I don't want to call them pessimistic, but if a 5-hour surgery turned into a 10-hour surgery and they keep telling y'all I'm not out yet, of course you're gonna start thinking about, oh my goodness, like, what can happen, what could have happened. And so they did the hernia repair, and they were like, your body's going to be in distress, we don't want to do the tuck now, but they're going to do it. I'm gonna try to put that whole story out there, timeline. Yeah, I want my tummy tuck. Okay,
you
I want that
look,
back.
do that surgery so I can get
right, y'all go. Right,
know,
but right
right.
at the when did I? June 23rd is when I had got the hernia removed, and I was in a lot of pain the day I
So you
came
developed
home.
the hernia from all the
Yeah, no, they
surgeries?
actually, all right, so I got shot in the right leg, and what that did was, the vein that pumps the blood from my feet to my heart, they tied that off. So I got like angioedema. My feet would get really, really swollen and stuff like that. And when it came to my stomach, the bullet shattered in my stomach. It missed every major organ. Look at God. But it shattered in my stomach. It damaged my stomach lining, my wall. So I had to get a skin graft where they take the skin off your thighs. They took it mine off my thighs. They sometimes take it off your buttocks, your arms, wherever they can, where you got, some good skin. They took it off my thighs, and they put it on my stomach. And so it was like a watermelon sized hernia, to the point where the skin from my legs was the only thing in between this ear and my intestines. So you could see them move, and I would post it, and it's like I would eat something cold, they would go crazy, and it was like, like amazing to some people.
Yeah.
To me, it was like, wow, like what happened to my stomach?
Don't forget to drop your questions for her. If you drop it in the
Yes, I love
question box,
answering
I
questions if
won't
I
miss
can.
it because if you type it in the comment box, it's gonna go away. She said, how long did they give the guy, and have you seen him?
I never met him a day in my life. You know what? I usually don't say his name, but I just started, saying his name, because it's like I don't want him to get, credit like for
right,
like or
don't
something.
give
But
him that attention.
right, I don't want to
So
give him. I forgive him though.
He was shooting up the club at someone.
He was shooting at the bouncer. He was fighting with the bouncer. The bouncer was kicking him
And
out.
not thinking about the people around. That's how it
Right, and
always
not thinking
happens.
about nobody around. And what's crazy is because I've been forgave him,
And it's a good
because
thing they caught him. I'm sorry not to cut you
no, it's a
off.
great thing. It's a great thing because I feel like I would have been scared for my life. Like,
Of course.
like they were sending me letters while he was going to court when they did catch him. Right. Like, you could come in, and I'm like, no, because what if he had family members like, it's her fault he's in jail, but he shot me. I didn't shoot me. He shot me. I was an innocent bystander, and that's terrible. But I've been forgave him because I don't know his influences. I don't know how he grew up. I don't know, if his mother lost a son, if he had kids and they lost a parent, he probably was lost, misguided. And it's like,
girl, you ain't nothing but the, oh, Jesus.
I don't know. I can't have hate in my heart. I can't. I'm not going to give him that. You're not about to get that. You're not, because I've always been, a big hearted person. You're not going to make me hate the world. So it's just like everybody be like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. And a black man shot me. And
Yeah.
still Black Lives Matter, because it's
Yeah.
like I say, drugs is hitting these
You
streets
don't know
hard.
what he,
Right. I
yes,
don't know what
his
was going
story
on with
is.
him.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
know
And that's
nothing
why you
about
so
him.
blessed, even in the midst, because you don't have hate in your heart. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
don't
I
want
mean, yeah,
that.
of course, I'm sure you were angry for a minute, like, yo, what's the problem?
I
Why, blah, blah,
was.
blah. But you had to do that because the forgiveness, like you said, is not for him, it's for you.
Right, because
That's why
you
you're
know,
able to,
you don't want to
whew,
drink. If you drink poison, I'm not going to die. So it's
exactly.
like you only hurting yourself. You only letting yourself down and stuff like that. So I talked to God. God gave me a way. I went to school. I'm finishing. I'm happy. I'm trying to live my
Yeah.
best life. I would usually try to stay content. But it's
Yeah.
like at this point, I just want to be me. And it's like I'm very respectful. I do go to church. You know, sometimes I curse, stuff like that. And
Yeah. I mean, who
but it's
doesn't?
right. But it's like, you know, I used to want to you know, be a certain person for people who follow me and people, but that's it's uncomfortable to
Yeah.
not be able to be yourself, because you know I just went on vacation, I just turned up, and I was
Yeah.
happy I did that. I was
Yeah.
happy, and I was sharing it. And usually I don't share stuff like that. I'm very private, but it's like, I mean, this is my life, and you
You
know,
gotta live it now.
I got to live it.
Because he
I
done
got to
gave
live it.
you
It's
an
too short.
opportunity. Like, I'm not saying post every single thing, but like, but
Definitely,
you're happy. So post what makes you happy.
I'm very
Um,
happy.
I don't know what cuckoo means, but so that's happened in 2017. You were in the hospital for a couple of months. You came out.
Hmm.
You just went back to normal life. Like you started working.
Oh
You went
no,
to
no, no, no.
school.
When I came back, I was out of commission for a minute. I had a in-house nurse that would come every day. I had therapy every single day for a couple months straight. I had to get blood thinners. My best friend would come and poke me with a needle every day. Uh, I I couldn't stand it. It was like I was kind of living in hell. Excuse my language, but it's like
Yeah.
what. That's why I kept saying, "What did I do to have to go through all this?" And I couldn't walk. No, I couldn't. My voice was like really low, like I couldn't yell, and that humbled me a lot. Though I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie to you, that stopped me from arguing with people. I don't have the energy, literally, so I
Yeah.
can't argue
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
just, just go be happy and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still a little unbalanced, because when I taught myself how to walk, not everybody would be in my house, and I wouldn't have help. People would be at work, and I would have to get up to get something. But it took me a while. I had a walker. And if my friends was there, they'd be like, Takieyah, they hit a walker. Where you going? I'd be like, to the bathroom. Because I would try to do stuff on my own, but they know I could fall at any time. I was the big fall risk. And I would go in the kitchen when they was at work and stuff, and I would walk in circles
Yeah.
to teach me how to walk again.
The
And
practice is right.
right, I used to be scared a little bit to like go outside.
Yeah.
I was scared of being shot
Oh
again.
wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
I
like
can imagine.
right, I went to church, and when you go to the altar and they pray for you, and it was like, what's on your heart? And I was just like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to live? I'm scared to go outside, but then I would sit by a window and I'm scared a stray bullet would go. Like, how am I supposed to live this? And they was like, you know what? That's just the devil trying to hold you back. Like, that's the devil trying to separate you from God. Basically, right, like, and they were talking to me, and they was praying for me, and the more I went to church and the more I prayed, the more content I got. And I was like, you know what, it's not a punishment. If that bullet would have hit somebody else, they probably wouldn't have made it. God knew I was gonna make it. And I'm out here to, maybe
Be a
bless people,
testimony.
inspire, encourage. Right, exactly. And I've met a lot of great people doing it, and a lot of survivors. And they scared to tell their stories, and they scared to come out. So it's like, they thank me. And I've met people who are in different conditions than I am. I don't want to say worse, because nobody's situation is bigger than the next. It's just like a sin to me. I'm not going to belittle nobody problem. I don't belittle nobody fear. If you scared of tissue, that's your thing.
Yeah.
I'm scared of bullets. More so pain.
It's so good.
I
It's
don't.
so funny, like, to see you laugh because some people. I'm sure people probably walk on eggshells around you talking about certain things, not knowing how you'll react or how it'll affect you. So for you to even say, "Yeah, I'm scared of bullets," and laugh, it's like, okay, it happened. I went through it, and I'm not going to
Right.
allow it to hold me. And you're encouraging me now because, like I told you earlier, it's like I'm afraid to go far without my family around because of my
Right.
condition. So with you being so strong, like, I mean, that's like an encouragement. And that's, somebody said it earlier, like, you're here to help others. It might not be somebody that got shot, but it might be somebody that might have had the
Right.
surgery, or
Absolutely.
somebody that might have coded and things like that. So that's like a great thing. And I'm I'm thankful that God did keep you and your ancestors are some praying
Yes.
warriors, because
Yes.
baby,
I
we
mean, but
don't
you
realize
yourself
that
are a
a
walking
lot of times,
testimony.
huh?
I said, you yourself are a walking testimony.
Yeah.
You're amazing. So it's like, no, if I could tell you, like, I don't think I could tell you anything. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, like what you've
Yeah.
been through. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, I feel like we should live our best lives because
Yeah.
we're blessed and highly favored. We're here for a reason. God, not if I died 7 times
Yeah.
in that hospital and came back, where are you taking me to?
Yeah.
He
Right.
gonna watch
Right.
over me, okay? Because I wouldn't have made it out of there. He was gonna take his daughter right then and there if he needed him, and I would have went willingly. Because you know
Yeah.
that's our journeys anyway. We belong to him.
Yeah.
These ain't our temples. We borrow them. So,
Yep.
but
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
And
like,
Star said that last night, that when you know, we're it's our body that's there, but it's our spirit and our
right?
soul.
Like I'm gonna
So
get in trouble for this tattoo on my neck. But I know I am. But I talked to God about that one time, and I'm like,
you're
the
so
same way,
funny.
the same way I told you I tried to be content and
Yeah.
not all
Yeah.
rowdy and not having
Yeah.
fun and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, I prayed during it, and God was like, look, I'm like, people are blessed and they do crazy stuff. Like, people out here doing drugs and stuff like that, and they're so blessed. I'm like, why is it my heart feeling like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble if I don't? Like, God gonna reverse the surgery if I don't. And
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. God talks to me. Like, he's very
Yeah.
petty, but he talked to me. I guess he
You
talked to
say
me
he
with my
petty?
own language. Yes, I'm just as petty.
Oh
So
my God. He's
I think
funny to me. He's just
I,
funny.
yes, he is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
he told me,
Yeah.
like, I'm like your father, like the man that raised you. I'm just
Yeah.
like him. When you do something he tell you not to do, yeah, you might get a little punishment, but I'm gonna always love you. You're
I
gonna
got
always
you.
be
Yeah.
blessed. Like, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna be here. And so I'm going to live Takieyah's life. And
Yeah.
if you don't like it, if you're gonna judge me for it, I mean, ain't nothing I could do about it. But you
Yeah.
can't, I don't poop what you eat. So it's like, why you
Yeah.
worried about it? And
And
I don't,
listen, if you don't
you
tell
know.
it, girl, listen. I
So
love it. I love it. If you guys, it's 8:45. Instagram cuts us off in an hour. If we gotta come
right,
back, I mean, the way that this is going, I do not mind. I don't
me
care.
neither. I'm here.
But if you guys have any questions, drop them. Again, if you're just joining the live, this is Takieyah Reaves. She is a
Yes.
gun violence survivor. And she has a great testimony. Like, just her being here, giving us her story is strength in itself. And I appreciate you doing that. And again, I thank you for even agreeing to do this. This is like a special edition because I
Yeah,
have
because you don't
never,
do
it's
this.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
like,
I don't own a business yet. Like,
yeah,
but
you
I
heard
guess it's
that key word?
coming. I
Yeah,
guess this is a sign from God. I'm trying to tell you. I'm
yeah,
trying to tell you.
right?
I don't want to clock into nobody's job no more. I don't.
Yeah, listen, and you don't have to. Just speaking, just what
Right.
you're doing,
I don't
you
want
can
to.
make money off of. Like, you got to get it out somehow. God put us in certain situations to get us close to Him. That is true. That is true. And
Yeah.
it's like a wake up call or a message. Like, I kept you. So what you gonna do?
Right,
You know what
right.
I
And
mean?
it showed me no matter what, daughter,
Yeah,
you gonna be here
I
and
got
just
you.
to go with God at all times is
Yeah, yeah,
everything literally happens for a reason. Don't question that man because he petty. And he showed me, he said, look, I guarantee you after this tummy tuck, if you don't know my story, you won't know what happened to me.
yeah,
I mean, he had to break me. I guess I'm hard headed. So I
yeah.
probably
We
wasn't
all are.
listening. I
And if
probably
you don't
wasn't
hear say you
listening.
not, you a lie. I'm
Right.
saying it.
So he
Yup.
had the, he had the breast, like,
Yeah.
break me and to bless me and everything. I got a bunch of scars on my body, but they beautiful to me. They my
Yeah.
scars. If you're
Yeah.
gonna look at me for them, thank you.
That's on you.
Take a
Yes.
picture.
What?
I
Take
pose.
a picture and last longer.
Right. So, but I'm gonna wear this babe. I'm gonna wear that bathing too. I'm gonna show this
Yeah.
body. Y'all gonna see these scars. After this
Yeah.
tummy tuck, I'm gonna be snatched. I ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing.
Ain't gonna be
Okay.
nothing they can say
Right.
to
So
you.
it's like, thank you to my shooter. Like, and then my faith, my fear turns into faith. And it's like, God got me. No, I won't go in situations where I might get shot. I'm not doing that. I'm not that
Right.
crazy.
Right.
But
Right.
it's like I do believe I'm blessed and highly favored, and I do believe I'm here for a
You
reason.
certainly are. Let me
I
ask you a
am.
question. Have you been in a club ever since?
I have. Oh my goodness. You know what? It wasn't more so like, I won't call it a club. It's like it probably was like a little family bar because it was a friend birthday. If I have after that, I don't remember. My memory is totally bad. But no,
Oh,
it's like an old folks bar with all our old, like, all my friends. We call each other
that's
family.
at
You know, we older
VFW. You
now.
got that VFW. I don't know if I call it up north, but we call it
A VFW.
VFW. That's where all the old people gather. It be some
Oh
good
yeah,
parties
you
up
know
in
that,
there now.
but they playing all that good old music and
Listen,
stuff like, and they be dancing.
she said
Okay,
he had
but
to break me to bless me. She said you need to use that for the title of your book.
okay, y'all want me to write a book? I'm just, hey, y'all, I'm so shy. It's I wouldn't even know where to start, but I would love to. I mean, I would do anything to encourage and inspire, because the people I've met, I done met people who got shot in their head, babies, and they would spill their stories to me, and I would be like,
Yeah,
are you serious? And they would be like, I'm so scared to go outside. I'm so scared to
yeah,
show my scars. And you really got your stomach out here. And I was like, and that came from frustration. I got tired of people asking, was I pregnant? Let me show y'all something. This is what happened. Okay. And so I just, I just went on ahead, and that's how I met Susan. She's amazing person. I met Susan. I was actually inboxing her. I wanted a bracelet, and because she make these this is Saya. This is my bracelet. I've had it for so long now. It's
hmm
basically falling apart, but I always wear it. I don't go nowhere without her. But basically, it's a bullet. It's a live bullet, and people donate them, and we collect them, and we take the life out of it, and we
yeah,
repurpose it into jewelry. And
yeah.
so she didn't hit me back, and she was like this real big person to me, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I seen my inbox one day, and it said her name, and I was like, what? And she was like,
Yeah.
call me when you can. Oh, I'm calling you right now. Like, do you know who you are? And
Yeah.
I was in my head, you're doing something amazing. And she, when I first met her, gun violence was a big thing to her, but somebody in her family haven't ever been affected by gun violence ever, and her heart is so strong for it, and that's purity. Her spirit, everything about this lady is everything. And I talked to her on the phone, and she was like, "Can I fly you out here to Florida?" And I was like, "What?
Yeah.
I'm getting
So
food out,
Suzanne,
y'all." Yeah, Susan Kennedy, my
Suzanne
president.
is from Miami, Florida. She
Yes,
has an organization. I think it's called Bullets for
bullets for
Life.
life.
Right.
Oh,
It's called
I forgot I had
Bullets
this
for
shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
it's called Bullets
goodness.
for Life. So what
It
they
wasn't
do is
even
they
intentional.
repurpose bullets and they make them, like she say, into jewelry. And she goes to a lot of events. If you're from Miami,
Right.
and you've been affected or known about any type of gun violence, I'm sure you would know her. The jewelry is really beautiful, which is
Really
crazy
beautiful.
because it's repurposed actual bullets that people turn in. And then, like she says, they take them apart and they make them. She said she flew you out,
Right. That's what
sis.
I'm laughing at. Flew down. I got flew out.
So
I was like, what? Of course I would come. And
I
that's
know
the
that's
first time
right.
I told my story out loud. It was because of her.
Yeah.
She took me to they were actually had a big rally for gun violence. Oh my goodness, they're called the brothers something. Oh my goodness, I
Brotherhood
forget their name.
Circle, I think.
The Circle of Brothers. The Circle,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And
They
what they were
stand and
doing, they were fasting for
yeah,
gun
for
violence, and they
10 days,
wasn't
right?
eating right. I
Yeah.
think they did it for, it was only 10. I thought it was like
I
21
think
days
they
or something
started
like
off
that.
at 10 and then it ended up being really extended. I'm like,
Yeah,
y'all
they had
better be
doctors out there and everything. And so I actually
in
talked
open.
at their circle um for the first time, and the way people were responding to me, I was like, wow. I had people pulling me to the side to take pictures, and I'm like, why do y'all want, like, it was crazy. And they looking at me like, what? So that's not a baby,
Yeah,
that's a bullet. That's
yeah.
the bullet. But
Fire.
right, that
But
is
it's so funny. If you're just tuning in, she said earlier that after being shot that her stomach swole and she ended up naming her stomach. Really, you named the bullet, right?
right.
You
It
were
is
saying,
like, if
I,
people ask for, is I pregnant, I'm like, yes, a girl. I'm gonna name her Saya.
yeah,
Like, But yeah, it was the bullet. This bracelet is called the Takieyah bracelet.
Yeah.
I don't know why I chose Takieyah. I always said I was gonna have a daughter and I was gonna name her Takieyah, and that
Okay.
was the last time I was gonna get pregnant because I ain't having no more kids after this tummy tuck. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna adopt if I want.
You like, nah, you ain't
You
the
know,
best this
right?
stomach tuck,
You ain't
baby. I know
no.
that's
God gave
right.
me this back
Listen,
for a reason. I asked for it. Okay.
a lot of us want some tummy tucks, baby.
That's right. And I get to just get one, you know. So a lot of good things came from this. A lot of blessings came from this. So it's like, how could I view it as
Yeah.
something bad? Like, you know,
Yeah.
and bad is made up. Bad and good is made up. It's what we decide to think is bad and good. Like life and death.
Yeah.
You know, it's not supposed to be seen as bad and good.
Yeah.
Because you know, we're people are going to be born and people are going to die. It's something that's just going to happen. And I've
Yeah.
always told people, and they were asked, you know, Takieyah, you died so many times. You know, did you see the white light? I've seen a white light. I don't know if it was that white
It's
light.
that
I was
like,
going in it. But they was like, you know, how do you feel about life and death? And I was like, to be honest with you, my story wasn't over yet, so I stayed. I had a reason to stay. I stayed for my kids, and I feel like when people
thank God
when
for
people
that.
go, I feel like they go for themselves. They feel like whoever they leave behind will do okay. Probably not at that specific time, but they'll be okay without them. They're ready to go, because
Yeah.
everybody is strong in their own way, you know. But yes, I think they be ready when people finally let go. It's on them. It's completely on them, and so I don't know. I just look at a lot of stuff different. A lot of stuff.
I'm sure you do.
When bad stuff happens, it's like something good gonna come out of this for me. If it's a flat tire, maybe God about to bless
Something
me
is a
with
reason
food
why
for a
he
new
stopped.
ride. Like maybe I need a new car. It's always something good. So just look at
Yeah.
life like that. If something bad happened, man, something good. Don't dwell on the bad because it's not gonna change the situation. So
Yeah.
if you know if you struggling, you know you got to do something about that. You got to add to a solution instead of the problem. But you just but don't do it sad. You know,
Yeah.
go through what you're
Yeah.
going through. And I know it don't seem it's not that easy. It's not because I didn't glow through what I had to grow through. I cried through it
Yeah.
and
And
I
it's
was
all
weak
it's
through it and
all
stuff
in your
like that.
everybody's strength is different, I must say. Because you said that you cried and you asked and you questioned a lot of times, and
Yes.
that's the same thing that anybody I'm sure that go through a situation and you live like why did I live to suffer, so to speak, because you're going through so much pain, you got to take all these medicine. It's like, okay, but then you turn around and you think, it depends on your spirituality too, that you think like, okay, God, thank you, I don't know why
Right.
what you're keeping me for, but thank you, you know what I
And
mean?
that's exactly how I was. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, I don't know
I
what
say
it
that all the
is.
time. And something
What
you
this
said
chef cooking
too.
up.
Yeah. Like when something bad happens, I always turn it around and say, my grandmother always said that every disappointment is for good.
Right.
So
Look at the
that's
silver
something
linings. You gotta find it. Because
you
literally
just gotta wait
everything
and it'll
happens for a
come.
reason, right? You just gotta
Yeah.
learn how to be patient. You gotta learn how to deal with stuff. And like
Yeah.
I said, I know it's not easy. It's easier said than done
Then
because
yeah.
not everybody has the same strength. And I
Right.
didn't think people I used to, like if my friends were in pain, I look at them like for real. Like you
Yeah.
crying over that, but I
Yeah.
learned to stop that because
Yeah.
I can't belittle their pain
You
because
don't
I
know
can take
their
a lot of it, right?
yeah.
So, even if they have, their little cramps and stuff, it's like, what you need, a hot pad, you need what you want. Like, how can I help you? So it's
Become more
I'm not
sympathetic now.
right. Don't belittle nobody's situation because
Yeah.
you're strong the way you are. I don't care what the situation is. I seriously don't like when people do that. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
Yep. Yep. Don't judge me. It is 8:56 and it cuts us off. So what I'm gonna do, and those of you that are tuned in, if you're more than welcome to come back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna save this and give us until about maybe 9:01, and we will be right back. But I don't want to lose this live at all because this whole entire live is definitely going to be a blessing to someone. So I want to make sure that I save it, and then we will be right back.
Yes,
Okay?
these people are amazing.
Again,
They
this is
gotta come
Takieyah
back.
Reaves. I am Corey Love of Carefree Conversations. With Corey Love, we're having a conversation about her situation that she's been through with gun violence, and she is just sharing her story. So
Yes.
tune back in about 3 minutes.
Right. See y'all in a minute.